Hey, what up guys? In this one, I'm headed to the North Course at Corica Park, and this is a link style course. Only the front 9 is open. Unfortunately, the back 9 won't be open for a while because they're having irrigation supply sourcing issues due to the pandemic. And man, all I gotta say is that I can't wait for this full 18 to open. That being said, let's check out the front 9, see if it's worth it, and let's see how I did.
All right, first hole here at Corica, the North Course. Tons of room to the right hand side, so of course I pull it to the left, and now I'm left with this tricky approach to the green. This North Course does punish you if you don't hit it at the right spot on the green. This time I come up a little bit short and it just rolls down to the bottom of this hill. Chipping on this type of grass was not my friend on this round. I blast this one over, and now I have this really long comeback putt just to try to get up and down, and I nearly get it there into the hole, so I'm left with, a 5-footer, and yeah, I just leave this one short, so end up starting with a double bogey to start off the day. All right, next hole is a pretty short par 5. Don't get this one more than maybe 15 feet off the ground, but it rolls for days, so I'm set up pretty nice for my next shot. Unfortunately, I just topped the crap out of my 4 hybrid, and so I'm hitting the 4 hybrid once again into the green. Catch this one a little bit better, but I end up drawing it to the left, and so I'm off the green and I have to chip. And you notice all this tall fescue around the greens. If you roll past the greens and end up into that stuff, it can be quite hard. This chip ends up being okay, and so I have a decent length one just to try to get up and down for the par, and I don't convert, so end up with the bogey. So starting off double bogey. All right, trying to get back on track here. I hit a pretty decent drive, but it's a dogleg left, and of course if it's a dogleg left, I'm gonna miss it right. So I have a lengthy approach into the green. I just took a gap wedge here, and it's pretty on line. It's where I aimed, in the safe part of the green, and so at least now I leave myself with the putt for birdie. So here's the birdie attempt. Leave it pretty short. Unfortunately, the gentleman kind of blocks the next shot here, but I just tap that in for my par, so back on track. All right, next up is a par 3. I blade the crap out of this 9-iron, and it goes over the green, and as I was alluding to earlier, if you hit it through these greens and you end up in this fescue stuff, it's pretty difficult chip. Luckily, I got this one onto the green, so I was at least putting for par. End up respecting the greens a little bit too much on this one because I thought it was downhill. End up being super short. So here is trying to clean up for bogey. Leave it short once again. End up tapping in for another double. All right, next up is another par 5. It was playing shorter there that day than it was on the card, so I think in all reality it was probably not only playing like maybe 450 to 80 yards. So next shot, take the hybrid. It lands past the green, and I end up drawing it a bit, so it's way past. And look, I'm in the fescue once again. So this one, I barely roll it on, and so at least I leave myself with a putt here. So I take out the putter. And yeah, this one ends up being just good enough for tapping in, so I'll take it, an easy tap in par after that double on the previous hole. All right, next up is a pretty straightforward par 3. The trees on the left hand side are starting to encroach a little bit on the tee shot here, but I safely get it aboard, and I have this short one for my birdie attempt. And yeah, I end up barely missing that one, so happy to be back to getting pars. Let's go on to the next hole. So this one is also a pretty straightforward shot. I end up pulling this to the left-hand side. Luckily, I stay off of this dirt track, and I have a pretty straightforward one for my next shot. End up pulling it to the left, and now, like I said, if you miss these greens, you're going to get punished by having these, really tough, nippy chips. And yeah, I just don't hit this one all that great. I land it way too much onto the green, and it rolls off to the other side of the green. As you can see, it's like a big turtle shell. Here in terms of a green complex, so I just take my putter and roll it up on there because the chipper is not in a good place. And so here is me just trying to clean up for bogey, and unfortunately just leave that short, and I tap in for double. So yeah, pretty tough greens if you don't get on the green themselves, and if you're stuck around the greens, it's pretty difficult. All right, this next hole is a very short par 4. Yeah, I think it's a sucker pin if you just try to go for it. So I did the boring thing and laid up with an iron. Unfortunately, my second shot ends up going in too hot, and so that layup didn't really pay off because I'm over the green now. And like I said, yeah, not chipping so well, so I take out the flat stick and just get it up there to an easy manageable distance, and then I just tap that in for a par. But yeah, maybe I should have just gone with it with the driver. All right, the last hole here is a hard dogleg right. So of course I hit it to the left-hand side and give myself a longer distance shot to the green. You can't really see the green from this position, so I was kind of blindly hitting into it, and I hit it short and left. And so I have another one of these nippy chips, and I thought I'd just bring out the wedge again, which was a mistake, and it goes way past the hole. So I have a super long putt just to get my par, and here's the attempt. And I leave it quite short, so I have another tough one for the bogey. Unfortunately, that one goes in, so end up being 8 over for the day, but what a course.
All right, as you can see, I didn't play my best there. I haven't played a lot of link style courses before, but that being said, man, when they get the full 18 open, this is going to be an awesome 18 holes. In Corica Park, you know, having the two 18s, man, it's going to be quite the golfing facility. So that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed that one. Keep chasing, and I'll see you in the next one.